What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Axe Creation. And on this week's lesson, we're going to take a look at the patient. It's been a while since we've done a full tool tutorial, and this week we're going to do the patient, heavily requested. Alright, so let's just jump right into it. It's about a 7-minute song, 7.5-minute song, and the first 2.5 minutes is essentially the same thing, so that's not too worrisome, but there are some little variations throughout the breakdown that make it memorization challenging. Right? So, as always, we are in a drop D tuning, and if you want to find PDF or Guitar Pro of the entire song, you can find that down in the description below. Okay? So, we're going to start off with a little clean tone here, and we're basically, like I said, we're in a drop D tuning, and we're playing our bass line, we're kind of playing a melody. So, we are in 5/4, so we basically have 10 eighth notes, right? 5/4, 10 eighth, 5 quarter notes, 10 eighth notes. And this is a fun little riff because it's phrased as 6 and 4. Which still equals up to 10. So you have this 3-3-2-2, right? So you have this 1-2-3, 1-2-3, 1-2, 1-2 kind of feel and phrasing of the riff. So you have 3 on the low string, and then O2 on the D string, and then open on the low string, O2 on the D string. Yeah. Right? And then you have this little C chord, 3-2, and a little A5, O2. Right? And that builds up forever. You think you do that about 20 times, but if you just listen to the song, you can hear the China hits and everything like that, so you know when the next part's coming in. And then you have this little repeated figure, 0-3-5, 0-7. All on the 5th string, our A string, 0-3-5, 0-7. And then you're going to want to pull off the palm muting on that last one and let that note hang. And guess what? You just repeat what you just did in the verse. Okay? So there's nothing new there except the harmony that they add in. And you'll hear it. It's plain as day as soon as it comes in the track. The bass notes are the same. It's still going to be 3-0, 3-0. But what we're going to do is instead of the 0-2, we're actually going to play on our G string 2-4. And then we're just going to hang on the 4 on the G string for when we play the groups of 2. So we have. And then you're going to bring, but when you do this, again, it's a unison, right? There's no harmony here. And it pauses. And now one guitar is going to keep doing this, and then the other guitar is going to add another harmony. And if you're just playing this by yourself, with either just by yourself or with a group, I would play the harmony the whole way, right? Because you have the bass backing you up. So the harmony, this is an interesting little section because it's going to go, it's the same idea as in 3-5-7, but it's a fifth higher, so it's going to be on the D string on 5, 7, and 9. Like that. And if you want to think about it like this, it helps me memorize all these little parts, okay? So, if I do this, right? If I do that twice, that's essentially one time for me. Like, that's what I consider the phrase. So I'm going to do 4 of those, right? So I have this. Right? And now we're going to do another group of 4 measures, but again with a different pattern. Okay? So now it's going to be a 5-7, 9, 5-7. So we're going to add a 5-7 to it. So you kind of have it sounds like this. And that's the end of it. Right? So that's the little breakdown. So I tabbed it out in a different time signature than it actually is, just so you can see those patterns and the repeats, because it makes it a little easier to kind of, again, memorize. So you're not constantly like, what is that variation, what is that variation, what's going on, all right? So that's in the verse right there, and then just so you know, the last little measure of that, after you do that second variation 4 times, you're gonna go. So it's 9/7 on your D string, and all the while you're hitting that open A. I like to play a little power chord there, okay? And that's gonna bring us to the first chorus of the song, right? And those chords are 3, 0, 5, 7. And then that little turnaround is just 7, 8, 7, open, okay? And this is it's a fun rhythm. Again, we're in 5/4. It goes over 2 measures, so it lasts 10 quarter notes, or 2 measures of 5/4. And you have a dotted rhythm, so you kind of have this down, up, 1, 2, right? So it's down on 3, rhythmically wise, right? Down on 3, up, open, down on 5, up on 7. And then 7's going to ring out what would be the downbeat for 2 more beats, if that helps you count this. Because sometimes you can kind of get lost in that turnaround. So you have this down, up, 1, 2. Down, up, 1, 2. Down, 1, 2. Right? So hopefully that helps. Okay? So you do that 4 times. And typical of Tool and Jones is playing, that 4th time you're going to do a slight variation just to get into the next part. So you have this 3, 0, 5, 7. Just kind of chug on that 7th fret on the A string, and that leads you to the. That's the phrase right there. That's the measure. That's your phrase, and then it repeats a couple times. Okay, so you're going to be on your D and your G string, or your 4th and your 3rd string, however you know them, and it's going to be 7, 5, 5, 7. Twice, and then you're going to cut the time in between those phrases short by an 8th note. So I know it kind of feels a little bit weird, but once you realize it and you play along with it, you can kind of hear it really fast. So you do the initial phrase twice, and then you cut it short, and it's 5, 5, 7. Okay, I'll play it slow. And then it ends with the full phrase again, 5, 7, 5, 5, 7, right? So you think about it, the whole entire phrase has, again, 4 micro little parts into it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's hard to do that and say that. But hopefully that makes sense for you guys. So you can do that 4 times, and on the 4th time, again, you're gonna bend that, so you're gonna go. It's gonna change a little bit, and you're gonna get that flat 2nd kind of sound. So it's gonna go 8, 7, 5, 7 on your 4th string or your D string. And then the same idea of melody that we've just been playing, 7, 5, 5, 7. So it's like this. I would definitely do some squealies, some pinch harmonics there, and there is a harmony track going on the song as well. But I would just do your pinch harmonics there, and you'll get through it. So then it's gonna you're gonna change the rhythm changes, the kind of tempo changes, slightly different feels, same thing, and you're gonna play off of this, and it's. That's it. You do it 4 times, typical of everything in the song. So it's the same idea, and then you're gonna bounce off the A string, and then 5, 7. Like that. And that leads to the next part. It's kind of the same rhythm, just power chords now on our low string, and it's 7, 10, 7, 10, 5, 7. And then 3 on 7, 5, 7. So really slow, it's then it's going to open up where the vocals keep ragging on, and you're going to bring back the little verse section that you did before. That wide open, full distortion, super simple. And this is the start of the breakdown. So we're going to have a lot of little sections and a lot of little variations going up, and this is kind of where the song really kind of picks up and it gets really fun. All right? So you're doing this open melody. Right? And then you're going to mute it. And then you're going to start doing that variation on it. Kind of similar to what they do in Lateralis as well. Alright? So, again, the same idea we talked about before, where I do something twice, to me that's one phrase. Right? So it's 2. So when it switches to the muting part, you're going to do it 4 times, and then you're going to add a variation to it. And the variation, that. And it starts 5, 3, 5, 0, 7, mixed in with the 0, 3, 5, 0, 7. Hopefully that makes sense, okay? So I'm going to play the muted part going into the variation nice and slow so you can hear it, okay? Very cool. So now we're going to play, the bass is going to play some harmonics, and now we're going to get it on our low D string, and now we're going to get a little aggressive, a little palm muty, right, a little chuggy. We did this section in a Tool Tuesday a long time ago, so now we're going to revisit it right now. Alright, so now we're going to take that same thing and we're going to do it on power chords. Make sure that everything's muted except the 5 and the 7. Okay, so let's get into this riff. Then you have a little chromatic turnaround there. You don't see that too often in Tool, which is kind of fun. And now we're just going to kind of open it up a little bit. Alright, 3, mute, mute, open. And then we're going to keep that turnaround, 2, 3, 0, 1, 0. And there's a couple different tracks going on at the same time where he throws like kind of open accents going into it. And let's just start by talking about, again, when you're playing one guitar and how to get the feel and the rhythm through it, okay? So you're basically just going to hammer on 5 to 7, and it's a pattern of 3 and 2, okay? So it's 5, 7, 7, 5, 7. Alright, so you want to mute the 5's the 3, open the 2. Mute the 3, open the 2. And we're gonna hammer on, muted and open, right? So it's hammer on, pick. Okay. Okay, and then we're going to go into the next part. It's just a continuation of that feel, and it's going to go on our low string. We're going to kind of walk up and down our power chord here. It's going to be 5-7-7, 5-7, 5-7-7, 5-7. A little pinch harmonics up there. You know, as you play throughout, do a little pinch harmonics there. And then we're going to move into this little power chord melody idea. Right? So it's based off a power chord on this in 7th position, and it's going to be 7 on the low string, 7 on the A string, 9. Kind of this little sus chord. And then you're going to pick that out, so you're really kind of playing this power chord and it's familiar. Pick out the power chord, and then pick out 7, 10, 7. Now, you don't want to let these notes ring out all over each other, but there are instances within it that you do want them to ring out. Hopefully you guys can hear that coming through the audio. And then it's going to go up and it's going to jump up an octave. You're going to play the open A, and you're going to be in 14th position. So it's the same pattern, just 14, 16, 17. Same thing. And then on that last time, you're going to change it and put an ending on it. Again, just like we've done throughout this entire song, right? And you're going to go 14, 16, 14, 12. Let that note hang. And then you have the outro riff, power chords. Start extending the power chord. And then you have the outro of the song, which is the intro of the song again. Right? The bass plays it by itself, and then the guitar can jump in and do the... And if you listen really carefully, there's 1 or 2 times where the bass notes, those notes drop out the low string. So you'll be playing. Let me lower that a little bit. Where they're not there, right? So whether you want to do that or not, it's up to you. Okay? And that is The Patient. All right? It's a really fun song to play. One of my favorite songs. And I know you guys have been requesting it for a long time now. So, like I said, the PDF and Guitar Pros can be found down in the description as well. And as always, let me know what you come up with. Until then, I'll see you next time. Thanks a lot.